How are we getting on, folks? Look at Monday was a very, very good day. Really and truly, we can't complain. Nap of the day comes in with not so simple winning at 7-2. Some very nice each way shouts with Friary Rock at 17-2. Pat Coyne at 12-1, and the big prize 66-1. The Townend horse Port Rashid just following home Felix Deji. Look at it, was a profitable day. There's no point in trying to deny it. The big price second definitely helped to pay it out. I think as good as an 8-1 winner or something along them lines. So when you're coming up against a 1-5 favourite, that's where the value lies. We're going to take on Galway now tomorrow. Galway has been, I suppose, a bit of a hit and miss track. It's my local track, always has been growing up, and I do have some fairly nice days, but equally some, I suppose, terrible days as well, at the best of times as well. But I've had a look through the card. What I was hoping for came up. It's starting to soften up in the ground, and I was sort of eyeing up these horses that would like a little bit of juice in the ground more so than a good dry surface. First race off, 155. We're going to go to Rosgalmy at 3-1. For the followers of the page, you've often heard the name but never seen the horse run. I have no answer to that really at the end of the day. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I've tipped this horse up about 3 or 4 times. Every single time it's been listed down to run, it's been pulled out either the night before or the morning of the race. Look at it, if this horse runs, it's sure to have a great chance. Obviously, connections are, I suppose, trying to find the best opportunity for it. I think they couldn't have found a better opportunity for it here. The ground will be absolutely no problem to it. It's well related to plenty of horses that have gone on to win in soft and heavy ground. Itself actually won a bumper in Thurles last year at 20-1 when beating some fairly nice sorts on yielding to soft. The softer it goes, really, it looks to be the better for this horse. Even though the horse has been pulled out of races that were on soft ground and heavy ground, and even on good ground, so we don't really know what's going on, whether the horse just picked up maybe a stone bruise or something along the lines. But it's been, I suppose, a little bit frustrating to follow, really, the fact that you're wanting to see the horse run, but next it gets pulled out and we have to, I suppose, start the ball game going again. But 3-1, if it turns up, it should be very, very hard to beat. I'd be hopeful that today is going to be the day that we see it run, and it's definitely well built for the national hunt scene. So it's definitely going to be one of the more exciting horses of the coming year anyway. 227, we're going to go with Morga, 9-1 shot each way here. If I'm not mistaken, an awful lot of bookies are paying out 4 places here for this. I think at a quarter of the odds, so if it comes in second, at the end of the day, or second, third, or fourth, really, it pays out as good as a 9-4, 2-1 winner. So you have to consider it that way as well. But this one definitely looks to be the best on this sort of ground. It ran a very credible race in Ballinrobe last time out. It just, I suppose, got caught for race fitness at the end of the day, but it was running a very big race. Ran on for 4th. Paul Townend is booked to ride this one here now tomorrow, champion jockey, for a yard that I suppose has lost his touch a little bit in terms of banging out winners left, right and centre. Similar enough to the profile that you'd associate Paul with, so that's definitely very interesting. There should be more things to come out of this horse. I definitely think 9-1 is a little bit of a I suppose over exaggeration, really, at the end of the day, and I suppose the bookies don't seem to be considering this horse to be as talented as people may think. Paranoid is going off favourite here. Personally speaking, I don't know what people are seeing. I don't know what the bookies are seeing. I know it's going to Gordon Elliott's yard, and Davy Russell is on board, but other than that, the horse has been poor. It was second to clear left from the Shane Ryder yard, and I know Shane Ryder is a fairly, I suppose, local lad to myself as well, and I'd have good connections with his extended family, but clear left is definitely no world beater at the end of the day. It's an ordinary enough handicapper. 3-1 favourite going off for a horse that was second to that doesn't make sense for me, and definitely I think if you're going to be having a bet, you're better off to take a bit of a chance here and go for a bigger price at an each way shout. 302, we're going to go with Rula Bula, 4-6. We don't really need to explain this for too much here. It's a very impressive mare. Her debut run over hurdles was very, very impressive, beating some very nice mares in behind. I think the second place was 13 lengths behind. It should really be well capable of putting these away, even though I suppose ground maybe have gone against it a little bit, but this could be a horse that'll run well on any sort of ground. I don't think it's finished out of the top two in its life. I know it's only had maybe about 4 runs, but at the same time, it's showed that it's a very versatile horse, and it's a very versatile mare, and Rula Bula definitely, it would be a big surprise to see anything beating this horse here tomorrow. 4-6, I know it's a sharp price, but nothing I can do. When I'm here to try and find winners for all of ye, I'm trying to find winners. That's the aim of the game. 337, another each way shout here now. We're going to go with Working Capital here at 5-1. Its last run in Clonmel was very impressive. I think it was last month it ran in Clonmel. It's similar enough conditions. It was run on heavy in Clonmel, but when you think of Clonmel and Galway, they're two very similar tracks. They're both, I suppose you could count them as a bit of a roller coaster track. They're very undulating. They go up, they go down. There's an awful steep climb up the hill, both in Clonmel and Galway, but definitely the fact that it was a very good second in a steep uphill finish on heavy ground in Clonmel definitely speaks wonders of this horse. Jack Kennedy is booked to ride it here today. Jack Kennedy obviously definitely trying to make up for lost time that he, I suppose, experienced through the long-lasting injury that he received last year, and I definitely think this one is nearly sure to place really at the end of the day. I can't see the ground drying up anymore in Galway. If anything, it's only going to get heavier. There is some bit of sun outside, but there's been very heavy rain. Looks to have a few dark clouds coming the way as well, and you'd nearly need an Alicante summer to dry out the ground in Galway after all the rain that we've had. 5-1 is a great price. It's definitely well worth an each way. I can't remember who is favourite. I think it's Yates Encore, Yates Mardy. No, it's not Yates Mardy. I think it's Yates Encore for, I think, Dunleavy with Darragh O'Keefe on board. Look at another good horse, but for some reason it just seems like it'll always find a way to get itself beaten. It seems like maybe soft ground is the key for it. It's definitely looks to run a very good race, but at 9-2 it's sort of lost its each way value, and I suppose the more risk-free bet I think you could do definitely would be Working Capital at 5-1. 4-10, we're going to go to Napa today, but we're going to go with Court Made at 7-2. This one here is very, very interesting. I know an awful lot of people will be very interested in Milan native here. I'm certainly not. I'm staying well clear of it. I know it's a winner that came Muir, but this Court Maid is the only one to ever win over course and distance. It's proven that it loves the ground. It proves that it loves the track, which is nearly always key to have a winning bet in Galway. Once you have a horse that knows the ground and likes the ground in Galway, it's like fighting a winning battle really at the end of the day. Tom Mullen's in great form. Whoever is riding it now has actually slipped my mind, but with all things considered, this Milan native more than likely will need a run. Galway as well is a very, very tough track, especially to come back from a long absence. Well, I suppose you could say a 6 month, 8 month absence now. Look at 6-4. I definitely would be taking it on. There is definitely value for other horses here in this race, and Court Maid is the one I would be confident about saying that I'm absolutely all over when I think about having a chance. I think it's definitely got the race to lose. The softer the better. Any sort of rainfall overnight will definitely help its chances even more, and I would be very, very surprised to see this Court Maid being beaten, to be quite honest with you. And 7-2 is a lovely, lovely price. 4.45, another each way shout here now. We're going to go with Born by the Sea, currently trading around 12-1. If I'm not mistaken, I think most bookmakers are paying out 4 or 5 places in this one. So each way value is definitely there. Born by the Sea, look at it's a bit of a course specialist without actually getting its head in front. What I'm trying to say is like it's proven that it loves Galway. The more rain the better really as well coming into it. It loves the soft ground. It's a local trainer, local yard. They like to have their winners around Galway. What else can I say about it really? Yeah, definitely a few of these will definitely need to run. Datsy is one of them personally. I think it's coming off something like a 200-day layoff or something in along them lines. I would be worried about that, especially going around Galway. It's not really the track that you want to be, I suppose, making your comeback on, especially in softer ground. Packen's Rock, another local horse that likes to have their winners around Galway, but I would be very surprised to see this one winning. I would be very surprised to see this one actually going out and doing the business tomorrow. The form that's held up so far this year has absolutely fallen to bits. Without being disrespectful to the horse, but I definitely think there's more value in the larger markets and the more of an each way market here now than going on to be backing winners or backing anything like that. This Born by the Sea has proven to run very good in definitely bigger company and better company. 12-1 is a lovely, lovely price. I think it's a quarter of the odds for an each way shout, so that's as good as a 3-1 winner there, right there. Like, so look at 12-1. It's definitely well worth an each way in my personal opinion for the Gilligan yard. A yard that have proven to love to have their winners around here. I definitely wouldn't be too long about saying that 12-1 is a great price. 5.15, next best of the day, we're going to go with Bridge Native at 5-1. Personally, I think this Pilbara, it will want better ground here today. I don't think it's going to get it. In fairness to it, it ran a very, very good race in Listowel not last week, but the week before. What else can I say about it really? It finished a long distance second to I think it was Stax Mountain, who is an average sort. I wouldn't class it as a good horse, or I wouldn't class it as a great horse, but I definitely wouldn't class it as a bad horse either. It gets the job done. I wouldn't mind having it, but it's just something that doesn't scream and shout potential. And for it to be favoured here, I think there's better, I suppose, market value. Bridge native here, Dot Love. Look at we don't really need to go into too much detail about Dot Love's season so far. She's been absolutely on fire, and this horse in particular, Bridge Native, has been, I suppose, the key to it. I think it's won 3 or 4 already so far. I think 2 chases and 2 hurdles. Nearly all of them are on soft ground, soft heavy ground. Uh, all these are playing into the cards tomorrow, and I definitely think this Bridge Native is going to be very, very hard to catch tomorrow. It should, I suppose, produce itself coming around the home turn, and it should start kicking on going up that hill. Whether it'll find or not, I'd be expecting it to. I definitely think it will find a great deal, especially with Pilbara setting the pace. And yeah, 5-1 is a brilliant shout. It's at each way value. I would suggest having a bit of an each way on it, but I'd be very confident. I would be very confident to see this 5-1 horse go on and add another winner to his name. Now 5:45, last race of the day. We're going to go Dark Spark. 7-1 chance here with this one. When you look at all the form and all the breeding and everything else like that in the top 3 of the market, there's only the second favourite that has any sort of form to go on. The breeding of the favourite I would be very worried about. I think it's more of a stayer. It looks to have more staying blood in it. It's related to an awful lot of these 3 mile, 3 mile 2 horses. 2 miles on debut on soft, I think is going to be very stiff for it. I don't think it's going to run a very good race, personally speaking. Well, look, I say that, but I don't think it's going to go and win, more so than anything else. I think it's going to need to run to just get, I suppose, the cobwebs shaken off and allow it to come on for the run. The second favourite, like I already said, it'll probably want a bit better ground. It ran, I think, its debut on softer ground than its second run, and it was well in behind. Now, you can think of it a couple of ways here, whether it was just inexperience or not, that got beaten or on his debut more so than anything else. But this Dark Spark at 7-1 is definitely very eye-catching here. It costs 50,000 as a foal, I think. Either a foal or a yearling, and it was bought then again for 80,000 as a 3-year-old. Look, at the end of the day, when you look at the breeding side of things then as well, it's related to an awful lot of 2 mile winners, 2 mile bumper winners. The percentage strike rate for the sire's soft runners has been very impressive. I think it's trading in around, I seen it there this morning. I can't think of it. It's either 12% or 20%. Them 2 numbers are coming into mind. For soft ground, soft to heavy ground maybe. So when you look at that, everything is sort of tunnel vision for this Dark Spark. It's coming in here in its first run. I don't like Galway as a track for, say, debut runners. It's very much a track that you need plenty of experience and plenty of know how to race, more so than anything else. Now, saying that, look at She Wears It Well went on debut in Galway and she absolutely ramped home, but I think this Dark Spark would have to be very special to match She Wears It Well here. But 7-1 is definitely the best value in my opinion. I could well be wrong, but I would be much happier sticking a 5 each way at 7-1 than sticking a 10 win on the front too. But look, I'm going to leave it there. If you want to see more work, say from not just me, but from the website that I'm doing a bit of writing for, the World of Sport, you can do so. I'll leave a link in the description below. look at it's a great place to be banging out the winners. The winners are absolutely flying off the charts. Ron Robinson, the main man behind it, uh, he has a podcast every Friday where he names out a couple of horses. He went 4 for 4 um, over the past month. He then tipped up the second in the arc for his fifth selection or fifth week for the drive for five, let's just say. But it definitely did, like, at the end of the day, if the line was 10 yards more, I know that's an awful saying to have, but it if the horse just got going a little bit quicker, it would have definitely pulled up the Sotas a little bit more. Um, he's looking to go for the surge for six now. Uh, at the end of the day, it's a great listen. I'm an avid listener every week. Um, as well as that, there's some great people working on the world of sport as well. They're covering everything between football, racing. Um, I don't think there's anything else that as of yet, but the page is slowly but surely starting to grow and starting to improve. And the more people that get behind it, the more we can allow to, I suppose, room to roam and room to push on to be better and bigger than anything else out there. At the end of the day, that's what we're aiming to do. And I would strongly suggest anyone that's listening in or still listening to me at this stage to definitely check out the website. I'll definitely leave a link in the description below. Make sure to keep liking, sharing, subscribing. And yeah, if you're going to have a bet tomorrow, the very best of luck. Thanks very much.